Hi everyone, I'm Pankomati Virasingan, Guruchamalang Kimia from SMJK Eva Maria Convent Ipoh. With me today, going to learn on Chapter 6, Acid, Base and Salt. In Chapter 6, I'm going to focus with you on subtopic 6.1, the role of water in showing acidic and alkaline properties. At the end of the lesson, pupils are able to define acid and alkali, state the meaning of basicity of an acid, explain the role of water in showing acidic and alkaline properties. So, before we move on to the topic today, let's recall back on acid and base which you have learned in lower secondaries. So, let's observe on hydrochloric acid. When immersed with blue litmus paper, it turns red. Acids are corrosive in nature, and acids can react with metals where it will releases hydrogen. Let's watch what happens when you immerse red litmus paper into an ammonia solution. So as you can see, ammonia solution turns the red litmus paper into blue. Thus, we can conclude base will turn red litmus paper blue. Now let's look at the definition of acid. Based on Arrhenius theory, acid is a chemical substance that ionizes in water to produce hydrogen ion. As you can look here, when hydrogen chloride gas dissolves in water, what happens? For your kind information, hydrogen chloride gas exists in a form of molecules. Upon dissolve in water, what happens was it will ionizes into their respective ions. Let's look at the ionization equation of hydrogen chloride gas. When hydrogen chloride gas dissolve in water, they will ionize into hydrogen ion and chloride ions. So now, do hydrogen ions remains in the aqueous solution? Let's look here. When hydrogen chloride molecules ionizes hydrogen ion in water, what happens is the hydrogen ion ionized will attracted to the water molecules, hence they will form hydrozonium ion. Thus, for the chemical substance that ionizes hydrogen ion or hydrozonium ions are called acid. So now let's look closely on the ionization of hydrochloric acid in water. Here are examples of acid: hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, acetic acid, lactic acid, and citric acid. So how the basicity of these acids are differ? So let's write the ionization equation for the following acids. Firstly, nitric acid. Nitric acid ionizes into hydrogen ion and nitrate ions. Next, sulfuric acid ionizes 2 mole of hydrogen ions and sulfate ions. Thirdly, 1 mole of phosphoric acid ionizes 3 mole of hydrogen ion and phosphate ions. So here, what we can see is all these acids are ionizes different number of moles of hydrogen ion per molecule of acid. This is what we call it as basicity of acid. Basicity of acid is the number of hydrogen ion produced per molecule of acid when ionizes in water. First, monoprotic acid. Monoprotic acid example, nitric acid. As you can see here, 1 mole of nitric acid produces 1 mole of hydrogen ion and 1 mole of nitrate ions. So monoprotic acid means it ionizes 1 mole of hydrogen ion per molecule of an acid. Next, diprotic acid. Example, sulfuric acid. So let's look at sulfuric acid ionization. 1 mole of sulfuric acid ionizes into 2 mole of hydrogen ion and 1 mole of sulfate ions. Thus, diprotic acid produces 2 mole of hydrogen ion per molecule of an acid. Thirdly, triprotic acid. Example, phosphoric acid. 1 mole of phosphoric acid ionizes 3 mole of hydrogen ion and 1 mole of phosphate ion. Triprotic acid means it produces 3 moles of hydrogen ion per molecule of an acid. Alkali. What is alkali? As we learn on alkali, you have to know clear differences between base and alkaline. Base. Now, what is base? Base is a chemical substance that can react with acid to produce salt and water. Mostly, metal oxide and metal hydroxide are base. Now, alkali. What is alkali? Alkali is a base that's soluble in water. For easier understanding, I have represented the alkali as a subset of base. That means in conclusion, what we can say here is all alkali are base. So what's the meaning of alkali? Alkali, based on Arrhenius theory, chemical substance that ionizes in water to produce hydroxide ions. So as you can see here, 1 mole of ammonia molecules, when they ionizes in water, they produces ammonium ion and hydroxide ions. So let's look closely. When ammonia dissolves in water, what happens? Ammonia molecules will dissolve in water and ionizes hydroxide ions and form ammonium ions. The formation of hydroxide ions in water enables ammonia exhibit alkaline properties. Activity 1. Classify the following substances below into acids and bases. Upon completion, you may check your answers. Here is the answers for activity 1. Now let's look at the uses of acids. Acids and alkali are very essential in our daily life. Okay, so now let's look at the type of acids and their uses. Firstly, ascorbic acid. For your information, ascorbic acid is vitamin C. Now, this ascorbic acid is essential for good health, to increase the immune system. Now, carbonic acid is used to make gassy drinks or fizzy drinks. Ethanoic acid is used as a preservative in pickles. Benzoic acid is used as a preservative in all frozen food. Sulfuric acid have various type of usage. One of it is to make fertilizers. Other than that, sulfuric acids are used in making paints and detergents. Now, uses of bases. For example, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is widely used in making of soap, detergent, bleaching agent, and fertilizers. Secondly, aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium hydroxide is an antacid. It is used to treat gastric pain. Third, ammonia. Ammonia is used to make fertilizers and nitric acid. And for your kind info, we start our day in using alkali, which is magnesium hydroxide, contains in toothpaste, is used to neutralize the acid produced in the mouth. Let's look on the role of water for exhibiting its acidity and alkalinity. Role of water to show alkalinity and acidity. Now, based on what we have learned all this while, I hope you understand that acids and alkalis, they need water to ionize their respective ions. Okay, let's look at acids. Pure acid or acid in organic solvent usually they exist in a form of covalent compounds. So that is in the form of covalent molecules. So there's no hydrogen ions. Hydrogen ions are absent. So in the absence of hydrogen ions, they are unable to show their acidic properties. So usually you will see in the question they will mention it as dry or glacial ethanoic acid, or sometimes they will put the acid in organic solvents. So then you should know that they are unable to ionize their respective hydrogen ions. Hence, they cannot show the acidic properties. Acids only able to show their acidic properties in the presence of water. Okay, so now we're going to move on to alkali. Whereas for alkali in dry state, they does not exhibit their alkaline properties because there's no hydroxide ions present. Okay, thus they are unable to show their alkaline properties. Alkali only able to show their alkaline properties in the presence of water. So the presence of water is very essential for acid or even alkali to exhibit their alkalinity or acidity. Okay, students, we are coming to the end of the part of our lesson today. So based on what you have learned in this video on definition of acid and base, the basicity of acid, and the role of water in exhibiting their acidity and alkalinity, you are required to complete the following exercises in activity 2. This activity 2 consists of 5 objective questions. You may try out first, and paper 2 questions. At the end of this, I've submitted the answer for you to check by yourself. Okay, good luck.